Welcome to the Wild and Curious podcast, a show that's part travel,
part feminism,
and completely inspired by extraordinary women worldwide. I'm Theresa Christine.
And I'm Suzanne Schmetting.
You get to watch these women who are working, and it's just crazy. I don't know. It's like all of these individual threads, and they're throwing this wooden thing underneath the threads. I don't know what it's called. I'm sure I learned it, but then I forgot. And it's turning out into these gorgeous patterns.
Wow. I'm so jealous, but like at the same time, I'm sitting here like I'm very dreamy-eyed over it.
Well, you know, you've been to markets and things like that where you see those handicrafts. So it's that kind of feeling, but then you also get to see how the sausage is made, you know? So it's like pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I can't wait to go with you next time.
And I think what we're going to be talking about actually that is so cool about Laos that I didn't know before I went, and that you and I have talked about, is the different ethnic groups that are there. There are so many different ethnic groups. There's a certain number recognized by the government, and there are really technically even more than that. I believe there's 50 that are recognized by the government, and even more beyond that.
Yeah, I think the last it was like 160.
The government of Laos recognized 149 ethnic groups within 47 main ethnicities.
Oh.
Yes. So, and this is according to Wikipedia, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But bottom line is, what I think is so interesting is Laos has these different ethnic groups, and these kinds of handiworks really keep the culture alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also bring it to today's audience.
Yeah, they bring it to today's audience, and they give people a chance to experience artistry from another culture. And I really love that.
Today, we're talking with Joanna Smith and Douangdala. They are the co-founders of Ock Pop Tok, a company which started in 2000 that hires local Lao women to create traditional textiles.
Today, Ock Pop Tok does tours, hosts classes, has a cafe, a gallery, and fosters cultural exchange through travel opportunities for its weavers, all with the goal of elevating the profile of Lao textiles and artisans.
As you know, that Laos is a small country, small population, but very rich of culture diversity. So just lately, the government add on one more ethnic group. It's become 50 official and then 100 subgroup. You know, each group have their own language, their own culture, textile. So this is why reflect Ock Pop Tok. I would say, you know, we learn and we work, we develop the product with them, you know. So this is make the Lao textile so unique. You know, each village will have their own design, their own style. You know, each ethnic group, of course, you know, will have their own unique design. You know.
Why did you want to create Ock Pop Tok in the beginning to reflect all of these different cultures?
Wow. When we start, we're not really thinking that, you know, big broadcast. So, but as go. So, wow. Actually, I proposed this, you know, collective idea to Joe, and I grew up in a, you know, weaving and textile family, and I see since I little, and my mom, you know, from one of the ethnic group called Tai Dang, which is very rich culture, and they like primary self come from northern Laos. They're the one actually who do the most intricate weaving in Laos for Lao textile. So we start with small, with Luang Prabang basically, and Hoa Pan, you know, collection. But the more we work with the villages, the more that we learn, you know, the more that we kind of, you know, in love of all these textiles. It's just so special. Even today, we still, you know, finding new, I would say new to us, you know. So it's that's just add on this, you know, colorful all unique design from the north to the south of all of these 17 province, So we only have 7 million, the whole country. So that's the latest record. So
yeah, it's so nice to have that heritage. And for you, Joe, so Val comes to you and is like, do you want to do this? Like, do you want to do this project? I mean, how did you get involved in the textile scene?
I mean, I am originally from London, and I was in Luang Prabang working on an EU-funded photography project. And I had met Val, and Val was teaching me how to weave. And when I was at art school, I had dreamt of making like a collective of artists. And one day, sitting at the loom, and watching these, or being part of these amazing patterns that are like unfolding as you're weaving, and just falling in love with the textiles. And then Val's like, oh, why is Joe like mixing up the color palette and da da da? So she, she asked me, so do you want to do something together, like a collective, like be creative, and like we should definitely have fun in whatever we do, and like it would be cool if we could like create a platform where we can like bring Lao textiles to the world. And I'm like, oh my god, tick tick tick, all the boxes. Like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, and it's really special. So before we started recording, I was mentioning to you how I had been to the Living Arts Center, and as we were researching, we saw it's not just that you have this shop in Luang Prabang. It's not just the Living Arts Center. You have like a lot of different parts of Ock Pop Tok. And can you just kind of share with us what different aspects there is to Ock Pop Tok? Ock Pop Tok, excuse me.
No, it's good. Your pronunciation, very good. I mean, yes, we're a kind of multifaceted social enterprise. Essentially, the work that we do is primarily in creating silk textiles with a core group of weavers at the Living Craft Centre that you visited. And then over the years, we've put together like a series of training programs that we take out into these villages. And we do these trainings through a program we call the Village Weavers Project. And then at the Living Craft Centre, this was our kind of like tourism destination where we would encourage people to come and visit and learn about how Lao textiles is an integral and living part of Lao culture.
I mean, this is just one of the ways that Ock Pop Tok is preserving the heritage and tradition of Lao. Can you tell me some of the other ways that you're part of the community and really preserving those incredible traditions?
So apart from our village weaver project, we have this non-profit project that we preserve Lao textile from all over the country. At the moment, this part of our we call the Lao Heritage collection. So we have over 1,000 objects in the collection. So this is, before the COVID, we feature and do the exhibition documenting about these textile from different ethnic group and show to the visitor and young generation. So how we work with the community and get people be part of the, even the people from the village, some of them, they didn't see this own piece that left the village for, So we made this lantern weaver, and she found actually part of our collection, but the wedding shoe that she made it. So this is something that is like it's for the place that they can come and learn and take this as they develop new product add on to their work, So we also have other students from primary school up to high school come visit our center, and they can learn different aspects of the Lao weaving, start from silkworm to natural dye to the different weaving technique. So this is very new, not new, this is like quite unusual for the people that live in town that not really see this work as their own day. So that's why our Living Craft Center become a learning center for all age and local and visitor from outside of Laos.
That's so special that it's like a form of education, not just for people who visit, but for the people who are there. So I think that's such a really positive impact.
Interestingly, at the moment, we're actually running a bamboo weaving design competition for the high schools in Luang Prabang.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
And the idea is like we're challenging each school to be innovative with a bamboo woven design. So they need to look at a traditional bamboo utensil and then find a bamboo master in their community who can teach them the technical skills, and then they bring the creativity to the project. So, and then the schools will showcase their artworks at the Living Crafts Centre, and people from the community will come and vote for which one they think has met the challenge of being innovative within heritage.
That's so cool. And what a great opportunity.
We were excited for that project. But you said the rule, no, Jo? It needs to be a woman join the group.
Needs to be 50% women in the team.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. And that's one thing that really stands out to me about Ock Pop Tok is that, you know, the name itself means East meets West. And so there is this side of preserving the heritage and the traditions, but then it's also about like putting your own modern spin on it. So the people who are working there are making something that is like, it's their baby, it's their product, which is really cool.
Exactly.
So you do hire local people to work, and you're giving so many good kind of job opportunities for people. And even some of the people who work for you have travel opportunities. Can you just, I would love to know more about the ways that you're benefiting the community and specifically the women in Laos.
These opportunities for travel and education come really because of the opportunities that both Val and I have had, both through our work and through growing up. And, you know, we just want to afford those opportunities to everybody that's involved or connected to Ock Pop Tok. And so we really view our team members as, we call everyone a cultural ambassador. And whether that means that you're representing Lao at the Living Craft Centre or, you know, when we have the opportunity, for example, to participate in a weaving conference in Peru, you know, we will select 3 to 4 artisans or colleagues within, you know, the sales team or the classes, the activities that we run, and give them the opportunity to travel and really represent their own culture abroad.
And I think that is such a wonderful way, because in so many ways you're really bringing culture to other people, like tourists and the people who are working for you, and you're giving them that opportunity as well to sort of see all of the different cultures around the world.
You know that we have been bringing our team to the folk art market for last almost 9-10 years, right, Jo? Since 2007.
10 years, yeah.
So first time the market actually helped us to cover like expense costs, and I was blown away. You know, just people is just so respect your work. You know, the word artist is, you know, they make you feel so proud of your work, that you feel value in your, because, you know, weaving in Laos is not really a cool job, but people like that impression, and I brought it back and share with the team, like how that everyone can be proud of their work, because people just give us the value or all the work that we put, you know. And then over here we give the opportunity to one of the weavers and one of the team members to participate in this market. But I think this is how we, you know, grow towards every year that bring back and we develop the center. So and more young people join the team. You know, last 3 year, 4 year that we have one lawyer student, right? Jo.
Mm-hmm.
So she joined the team. We say, why you? I mean, she from Hua Pan, where my mother from. I mean, she's amazing. She's like, I love the weaving, so I want to choose this job instead of be a lawyer here is not easy. So and she's assistant of the production manager, and we see that more young people want to join the team, and they feel proud of the work, and they get to travel also. So this is, I think, make Ock Pop Tok could different from other organization. Yeah, we work as a family, but also everyone get benefit, not just income, but we think for them at many part.
That's such a great thing too, that it's benefiting the arts and like culture. It's not just, I don't know, there's something that I think is really wonderful when people can look and say, this is an artistic profession and that's what I want to do. And they can make a living doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So, and most of our team is still young, so it's not like all the older people that that's the weaving. So
Yeah. And I mean, it must be pretty special if she's given up a career in law to become an artist. That makes my little artist heart so proud and happy. So I do have a question. I mean, it's really wonderful that you are able to take on these young people and you're carrying on these traditions and modernizing them, and people are traveling. I'm so curious to find out a little bit about what your focus is right now during this sort of crazy time, and what you're hoping to share with people.
Yeah, we have so many projects going on at the moment. Like everything's so many exciting projects going on at the moment. Val will tell you about our folk art market. We started Radio Ock Pop Tok, which is a series of podcasts that like crisscrosses the globe, meeting the pioneers, the change makers, the innovators in folk art in their communities. And that's just a really fantastic way of creating or bringing together a kind of global network of artisan groups. And it's just been really interesting to meet all these pioneers and share their stories. And then we decided that we should also start what we call Ock Pop Tok TV, which is really...
Yes, we saw. We watched some of the YouTube videos.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Which one did you see?
Okay, there was one that didn't have much talking. It was just kind of footage of you going to these villages. And then there was one where you went and were kind of assessing this weaving that someone had.
Yeah, that's our village weaver origin story. And that's
Yes.
a trip that we took to the very northeastern corner of Laos, right up in the Annamite Mountains. And so we're really kind of following our philosophy that you can discover Laos through textiles. And so the Ock Pop Tok TV is all about like bringing people a kind of virtual travel experience of coming to Laos and introducing all the different ethnic groups that we work with, the geography, the food, the people, the culture, the crafts, the textiles, the techniques. So all that can be found on the YouTube channel. And then Val, do you want to tell them about our folk art market?
Well, we thought COVID will take some break, but no, we actually did big renovation for our center for like 4 months. And then me and Joe is talking like, in the past, we not really, promote much to the local. So I said, we need to organize something that we can, really bring people to visit our center. So we come up this, so we organize folk art market in November. It's turned out amazing and have been very successful. So people come visit us a lot in 2 days, right, Joe? We thought probably like 1,000 people. We have all these, our village participants from 8 villages, and we have local food, we have local performance. So it's lots of activity. It just remind me of like when I grew up, you used to go to the fair and you can get to try food, like all the local food, and you get to buy all the local craft. We made lots of video for virtual so people can, feel like they're part of that. We give people a tour, through the video, that you feel like you're in the market. But yeah, I mean, this is that she was talking, we want to bring our living craft center to people, that you can watch, even you not feel it in person, but you know that what's going on in our center, but also the way that for our artists to sell their product, because the country locked down, but it turned out local people where I love all the ethnic clothing. So they sold out most of the thing that they brought. So more than we expect. So that felt, I think more Lao people now, they're more proud of their own product. Before people just follow all the brand name, but now people start realize that we have so much beauty in our, all the product in our country. So that will help all our village artisan a lot. The folk art market that will represent all the own toys that you won't see that anyway in a new day, own games, when all the food, so that people can have experience that what was like when I grew up, I would say, 40 years ago, we play this like a coconut shell, and you walk that like a sound like a horse, and then you walk on the big tall stick. It's just all like own game that young generation not see that anymore.
Val said something about how she started doing her weaving, and when they started gathering, more and more weavers and artists from different regions, she said how all of those different textures and things that were specific to those regions were all new to her. So even though they had this really long tradition, she had this mindset of like, wow, this is this amazing thing, and it's brand new, but it's just new to her. And I sort of love how it's that sort of juxtaposition of old meets new, East meets West. And, she's experiencing it for the first time too. And it keeps their whole company fresh and vibrant.
Kind of in the same vein as that, it's so wonderful to see the arts being valued. I think we can both agree.
Yes.
We love the arts.
Me too.
I've thought about this many times, how it's like, our parents' generation or, 1950s or whatever, people are like, you got to get a good job, got to get that office job. And those are the jobs that in the future robots are going to be doing.
Yeah.
But nobody is going to be taking weaving away from someone's hands. Like, yes, machines can make these things, but there is definitely a difference.
A market that is so committed to making art vibrant, making it accessible to everyone. They have it at the markets, it's for sale. They have these websites, they're doing all of these different venues. And I think that story about the lawyer is just such a great example of how they're making a career in the arts, not only a viable option, but a vibrant one.
It just speaks, I think, to the power of artistry and artisan crafts. Mm-hmm. It is something that these things that they create tell a story. And for people who want to be storytellers in that way and use their hands, it's such a wonderful opportunity. You can learn more about Ock Pop Tok on their website at ockpoptok.com, and we'll leave that link in the show notes.
That is also the spot to check out their amazing videos and podcast under the stories section of their site.
If you enjoy listening to the Wild and Curious podcast and would like to contribute to helping us make this thing run, you can. You can Venmo us at The Wild and Curious or via PayPal at paypal.me/thewildandcurious. Anything you send, big or small, will go towards the costs of running a podcast that's dismantling the patriarchy.
It means so much to us when people rate our show on iTunes and leave reviews. We read those sweet nothings, and yes, we cry about them. We also love it when people send our podcast to someone who they think will enjoy it. Feminists sharing feminist content is the best.